So we're talking about the democracy, and we're going to expand this discussion with a leader of thoughts, Dr. Patrick Chukwu. He's here with us, live in the studio. Good to have you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
All right. So everyone knows democracy. I feel like someone who is even a 3-year-old or a 4-year-old can recite what democracy is. But then in practice in Nigeria, one would think that 26 years down the line, you would have thought that, well, someone who's 26 would have been an adult, would have been probably done with the university, or maybe planning to do, maybe further their studies, or maybe do something else, or maybe, get decided to get married if you're a lady, or maybe at that stage, or maybe even as a guy, you'll also be looking at that direction. But I don't know if you feel as a Nigerian that 26 years down the line in democracy, we've done really well, and considerable amount of years that we've spent.
Thank you very much. A good question indeed, because in any endeavor one is doing, at some point you take stock and find out how am I doing? Or other people can be a mirror and tell you you're doing well or you're not doing well. In terms of our efforts at building democracy or embracing democracy in Nigeria, we have not done very well.
What's the score if you had to give between 1 and 10?
If I were to rate Nigeria in terms of democracy, it's like 2 steps forward and then 4 or 5 backwards.
Wow.
Retrogression. As if you are going to take a leap. It's about, let me say, 50% advance. Retrogression, get it back to 30%. We're still far away. Democracy has not been acculturated. If you want to sustain democracy, you have to make it a way of life of the people, starting from the family. It's not the idea of modeling from abroad. It has to be part and parcel of a people's life. And that is the way it can be sustained. So, we have not done well. We still have a long way to go. Even though since independence and so on, after independence, 60-something years now, we should have done better, honestly speaking.
What do you think there's a considerable progress
in
democracy, practice of democracy?
Oh.
Do you think there's a considerable progress? I mean, because it's democracy is a form of government, but it's still alien to Africa. I mean, if you look at Africa, and even from the olden days, we didn't practice democracy per se. We have our own form of government. Democracy it's a borrowed culture. Some people say, well, why don't we just find something that suits us rather than modeling what we really don't understand?
I don't fully agree with you that democracy is alien to Africa. We have our own brand of democracy. Is not one species thing. There can be variants of democracy, and what you adopt is what can be acclimatized in your own environment. The point with Africa is that, we were forced to abandon our own brand of democracy and embraced Western brand, which has really not come. I have always asked the question, isn't it time to rethink our African democratic system, restoring it in a dignified manner so that they can come and borrow? Oh yes, they don't have a monopoly of good things. The white people, the Western nations. We can evolve something, indigenize it, And then they will also say, these people are up to something, this is good. There are many instances. Even the man we are celebrating today, Humphrey Watson, when he evolved the option A4, people woke and saw this is good. Oh, where has our mind been? So we can use this method, very direct method, and achieve what we want. African nations clapped. Western nations were watching to see how this can be consolidated. It may not be as crude as it was then, but it can be proved because it was modified subsequently, and that is the way of progress. You keep improving on what you have, indigenize it with time, and you bring in technology. It could also, let me stop at that for that moment. So I don't quite agree that democracy is alien. What is alien is Western brand of democracy. And we have not made significant progress along that line. So we should revisit, we should interrogate, what is the problem? Why can't we advance like the Western nations with their brand? So we have to remove what we can remove, accept what we should accept, and move ahead. Yes.
So, I mean, we're just 26 years. Many people will say the countries that we're looking up to, I mean, they have practiced democracy for over 100, 150 years. So we're just 26 years. I mean,
you're counting 26 from 1999.
Yeah, just from 1999. Yeah.
But before then, there was still something about Western democracy with us. Yes. So, taking our base, 1999, and that is where the dramatic fall has been. It seemed we will progress. Good ideas. Nigerians are not bereaved of good ideas. Advanced methodologies, etc. And somewhere along the line, it seems like there is a booby trap. Make everything. Dismantle all the efforts. Even the transitions the military enunciated. Forward, backward, until eventually Humphrey came and led through from 1989. And then we thought it was going to be sustained. Everybody embraced it, everybody liked it. But subsequent efforts at nation building, what is really failing is the effort at nation building has not been sincere. And it calls to question the issue of truth. We're not telling ourselves the truth. It isn't that Nigerians are incapable of devising what will lead us to the promised land, desirable state of democracy. We are, but there is always a cog in the wheel. And what is that cog in the wheel? You will ask. It is the quality of leadership. The quality of leadership Nigerians, foisted on Nigerians, I wouldn't say Nigerians choose, because in recent times, the people want, the leaders the people want, are not given to them. That's the issue. Political leadership in Nigeria is a fraud. And it is deliberate. Nigerians desire good leadership. Even by the time the military was midwifing democracy to come during the Babangida era, those transitions, then down to Buhari and so on, They saw good qualities in those efforts, the leadership that would emerge, that result from the processes. And Nigerians were ready for that. But there was an eclipse. So, a conspiracy against Nigeria, both locally, nationally, and internationally. There's a conspiracy against Nigeria.
How significant do you think Humphrey Nwosu's insistence on doing the right thing changed what the outcome of that election could have been if it was announced?
You see, what was at risk, or the risk Humphrey Nwosu took, was standing by the truth. And in spite of the dangers of that, he stuck to his gun and said, no, I wouldn't do it. I will be deceiving myself and the people if this election is annulled or cancelled. Not minding the personal risk he took, he kept on announcing. Even when they said, stop, stop. Even when he was manhandled, until they bundled him out and did their will. The impact of that is still with us today. Because truth was aborted. The contention was between truth and falsehood. Do you know why things go wrongly in the world? In Nigeria and anywhere. It is the contention between truth and falsehood. The capacity and ability to tell the truth on the one hand, and the capacity and ability to accept the truth on the other hand. This is why there is crisis. This is why there is conflict. This is why there is war. If the capacity to tell the truth, capacity and ability to tell the truth is met, and the capacity and ability to accept the truth is there, accept the truth, will there be conflict? There will be agreement. There will be peace. Democracy will be sustained. Because this is clearly obvious at the even family level, at most primordial level. If the truth is not told, parents will deal with the children. If the children do something wrong, parents will say, tell the truth, tell the truth. If they tell the truth, somehow there will be peace. Parents will have opportunity to admonish the children. The same thing with husband and wife. The same thing with all levels in society, community level, national level. Some people will be telling the truth. Some people will be saying it's not the truth, even though they know that it is the truth. Because it is impossible to tell oneself lie. Yes, you cannot tell yourself lie because only you know the truth, but you want to maneuver. You want to change things to suit primordial interest or whatever interest there is. So the contention is about truth. If Nigeria has to sustain democracy, build democracy, and we enjoy democracy, truth has to be told at all levels. What is this thing about budget and things like that, padding of budget and things like that? Is it not falsehood? If the truth is told about what it takes to build a road and it is maintained, what is the conflict? It will be accepted, it will be said and accepted. Nations progress. And that is one thing Western democracy thrives on. Truth. Much of I'm not saying they are all angels or very innocent of them, but oftentimes their leaders tell the truth. Yes, they tell the truth much more than falsification.
Why do African leaders lie to their followers?
I really don't know, if you ask me. But it is an aberration. The Western personality is not that superior to the black personality. It is only a matter of orientation. The good in you can be harnessed, hyped, and brought to thy light. So that is the training, exposure you have. If you are giving good exposure about how to maintain truth, how to say the truth, even in school and so on, you will grow up with it. You don't need to even change your data, change your date of birth and things like that. These are falsehoods.
So does it mean that our own orientation is to demean our people?
It is what people choose to do to deceive. We are doing the service to ourselves and to our nation. Yes, but it can be stopped and remedied. After all, look at even though Buhari is not a very good example of listen, during their regime, Idiabor and so on regime, the simple issue of queuing up when you come to a place and maintaining sanity is that aspect of truth with it. Nigerians liked it, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Suddenly, it fizzled out. So which means people know the right thing. If only the leader can come up and say, we have to follow the truth, you will see people queue and nation will progress. Over time, it's not a mechanical thing, no. It has to be over time. The moment, a simple analogy, if you learn to eat with the left hand, you will be eating with left hand. It will be like right hand for you. But ordinarily, people eat with right hand, first of all, from cultural background. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So it's a matter of our deciding to do it. And the leaders go, show the way, and people will follow.
Do you think we have a culture of punishing people, especially those who are in leadership position, who have, used their position to enrich themselves or misuse their position, so much so that other people can learn from it? The reason I ask this is because IBB the other day came out and stated categorically what happened in 1993. Mm-hmm. And somewhat also tried to defend his action at that particular time. Mm-hmm. As a nation who have seen that happen and with his own mouth confesses that he did that.
He did the disservice.
Yeah, so do you think that as a nation we should have been looking at how to go about prosecuting him?
Punish him.
And do something in that regard. But it does look like we're just watching it. Because again, if another leader comes up, that other leader can come up tomorrow and do something and then tell you on another letter that did that, well, he was pressured to do it in a certain way, and he was later probably also doing that beyond what the Constitution says. So do you think that as a nation, punishing leaders who have done something wrong when they have left office, is key in actually mitigating some of these things in the future?
Yeah. In other climes, it wouldn't just end at that, his open convention. It has consequence. One, he could be made to do restitution. It isn't himself only. Our past leaders, many of them, they should be called to account. Two, specific reference to that annulment, which he himself, if he told us the truth, all the truth, because I see what is come up with as half-truth. I don't know whether you have read Humphrey Nwosu's story about laying the foundation on his own side of the story. When you balance, you now know also. And I would expect those actors, those who came to manhandle Humphrey Nwosu, to say something. Some of them are still alive. They need to. And I believe with IBB saying something now, they can come up tomorrow. Now, yes, it is not just enough to say he takes responsibility for that. And that thing he did, look at the consequences to the nation. If that election was sustained, oh God, Nigeria would have been somewhere far ahead all Africa, you know. But he just put put the spanner on the wheel and everything crumbled. Yes, I believe if our judicial system was something to depend on, or the present leadership, you should call him in to question. You have said this to us, so we can't let it just go. Something has to be done in terms of punishment. But you know, he deified himself, and almost every government fears him, so to say. IBB. He deified him, starting with calling himself president, which is an aberration in a military regime. Anointed himself president. And no government has corrected it, even in a democracy. No, you cannot take the title of a president because you are not elected by the people. It's a democratic title. That will even begin. Making to shed, some leaf. So I believe he should be further interrogated if it were in other climes where justice. But the judicial system is not there. You can see these days everything is whimsy. They are not prepared. Who will bear the cat? Is it the present leadership, the present government? Is it possible? So, it's a problem. The leadership question. The leadership problem in Nigeria is squarely the problem Nigeria has and Africa has. Chinua Achebe epitomized it greatly. And if you read over again, you see that this man said it all. Yeah.
Do you believe that every state or every country deserves the kind of leader that they have?
Every people, every nation deserves the leadership they give themselves, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or they have. Not what they are forced to have.
It's a huge difference, and you think that it cannot do something about it?
Fine. Doing something is the question. Because people will desire something. You give them something other than what they want. And you cow them. Everybody, instinct of self-preservation, they keep quiet and watch and hoping. And oftentimes in our climate, we believe so much in prayer. We now appeal to God. Yes, it's good to believe in prayer, but action, matching faith with action is important. Nigeria is a little different from some African nations that would have reason to challenge any imposition of leadership. Nigerians are not getting the type of leadership they deserve and they want. It's a conspiracy, oftentimes also by the international community. Yes. Otherwise, in the last election, or the one during the Buhari regime, they knew that is not the kind of people that leave Nigeria out of the woods. But they supported it. The West supported it. Even in the last election, why did they keep quiet? And allowed those, what they call the glitches to happen. Those glitches that change the opinion of the people. And nothing happened at the end of the day. If it were in other places, conflict would have erupted, because majority of the people knew that there was manipulation. Yeah.
So you don't believe that the people deserve the kind of leader that they have, not the one that they are forced to. But so you feel that the leaders we have in Nigeria are the ones that we are forced to have?
That is majorly the thing. Not all. There are some politicians that really won their seats by the support of the people. By people wanted them and they came up. Majority of political leaders are the brand we call demagogues. They are not statesmen. They are not building. They are not into nation building. They have come like to cut away. Yes, for self-interest.
Do you think it's a possibility? I mean, it's democracy, it's freedom to choose, right? Do you think it's a possibility that the people will desire bad, strong people to lead them?
That is exactly what I'm saying. People wouldn't desire it, except also people who are depraved. If people in their sincerity, they do genuine choice, they won't prefer evil to good. Yes. When you settle them for giving you vote, what is it? And nobody chooses evil willingly. Yeah. You are forcing them, depriving them, and making them to be beggarly, so that when you get a cup of water and give them there, they say, okay, let's manage. They don't know what tomorrow will look like. Really, they know that that is not the right choice. Only a few. But if genuine choices are allowed to stand, the bad choices won't outnumber. In Nigeria today, yes, the bad choices are forced on people. Not that it is what they really wanted, genuinely wanted. Yes.
Wow. Anyways, we'll have to leave it there. Dr. Patrick Chukwu, on a final note, how do you think that Humphrey Nwose should be immortalized in the context of what he did in 1993?
Yeah. Humphrey Nwose, first and foremost, is an enigma. And if so appreciated, nothing the Nigerian nation can do for him is too much. He should be immortalized, quite immortalized. This is already on the public domain. People are voicing out, and saying this man cannot be laid to lie low like that. After all, you have recognized June 12th. And what of the man behind it? If he did not stand firm, definitely June 12 would have been a goner completely. Nobody would have remembered. You wouldn't have now called it Democracy Day. So, because he's truthful, it is truth about June 12 that we are celebrating. And the bearer of that truth is Humphrey Nwose. Because if he succumbed to or annulled to the annulment of that election, nobody would know that Abiola really won. Remember, his co-contestant, Tofa, acknowledged. Tofa, he acknowledged that Abiola won.
Absolutely.
Yes. So, Humphrey should be really respected in terms of doing some national honor, even naming significant edifices and things about him in the nation. Because the job he did is for Nigerians. It was for good.
Absolutely.
Yes.
All right. Dr. Patrick Chukwu, many thanks for your time. We truly appreciate your thoughts on the show. I would love to see you more often come through for leadership communications. I mean, we're building up to the 2027 elections. Yes. In fact, first we're going to build up to the Anambra State elections, which is just in a few months' time. So we hope to have you pretty soon.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming.
It's my pleasure.
All right.
Save Nature TV. News in your pocket.